This past week, a memory popped up on my Facebook feed, that of a picture of me with some of my friends from seminary graduation 7 years ago. And that picture is especially memorable as Karina and a very young Lexi are in the background of the shot. It's hard to believe it's been that long. One of my friends lamented how much older we all look now. Ministry will do that to you, I joked. While that day was one of the biggest days of my life, one I had worked towards and dreamed about for years and years, it is so easy to forget. If I can say this, thank God for Facebook, because I don't have time to remember these things on my own. I'm so busy these days with church and family and school. I started an MBA program this past January because I didn't have enough to do. So I couldn't comprehend people at the beginning of the stay-at-home order who were saying they had so little to do when I had so much to do. I bet, like me, you can relate. We are so busy. We're navigating how to do our jobs and run our businesses, and we're trying to educate our kids, and amongst all that, trying to keep our homes from being a disaster, a mess. Mine is. And now with the stay-at-home orders lifting, just at the moment we might have gotten things figured out, we've got to make time to adjust to another reality. How in the world can we make time to remember? I'm reminded of this guy named Abram who lived a long, long time ago. Abram was happily living his life when something drastic happened. God came to him and said, "Follow me to a new place in a strange land." Perhaps surprisingly, Abraham said yes. He left his family, his job, and his community to venture to a new place. This story is found in the first book of the Bible, in the book of Genesis, and you may recognize him by the name I slipped out, the name he was later known as of Abraham. In Genesis chapter 12 and chapter 13, as Abram, or Abraham as we later know him, is journeying along, four times he stops and makes a memorial so as to honor what he was experiencing so he could remember it later. Now, it's easy to forget this, that Abraham, or Abram as he was known then, was experiencing a major disruption in his life. And in this time, he realized how important it would be to be intentional about making time to remember. See, with all the packing up of the house, the traveling to a new and unknown community, and the unloading and setting up the new house, it would be easy just to forget the important points along the way. So Abraham, or Abram back then, he made a point to remember. I'll be honest, it seems like every day that I look at the calendar, another month has passed. Life is so uncertain, things are so unsettled, change is happening so fast, it's hard to even remember yesterday, let alone important points during this whole period in this crisis. I've been trying to make extra time to journal so that I'll be able to look back later on and remember what matters. On this Memorial Day weekend, I want you to take a minute to remember what matters. Memorial Day originated as Decoration Day in the years following the Civil War and became an official federal holiday in 1971. And as important as it is to remember the many, many lives lost of those who sacrificed to make our nation, we would be remiss, I believe, if we didn't also take this opportunity to remember what really matters. Being able to go out to the mall doesn't matter. Getting your hair cut doesn't really matter. Some of you might disagree. Vacations, as fun as they can be, they don't really matter. What matters is the health and safety of yourself and the ones you love. What matters is the relationships you build and strengthen with friends and family. What matters is how we will get through this together. That's what really matters. Look, in a year or two, when this is all over, when the virus has run its course or we found a vaccine, should we be fortunate enough to make it through, the time will be gone whether we've noticed it or not. Like those days, those months, the year or two will have passed whether we took time to remember or not. And we'll find ourselves in one of two places. Either we'll wonder where the time has gone, noting the gray hairs and the wrinkle lines, feeling the passage of time in our bodies, but unable to really recall how it happened. Or we will be able to look back on the markers and memorials in our own lives. We'll remember how we managed to work from home and to school our kids. We'll remember how we revamped our businesses in a matter of weeks. We'll remember those special times amidst the chaos and craziness of life, how we were able to carve out time to spend with those we love. Date nights at home, family movies on the couch, making connections over Zoom and FaceTime and other technologies. So take time this weekend to remember, now and in the future, what matters.